Okay, hey guys, so this video is primarily about an example of how you can know that you're working with a narcissist and you're communicating with a person who has narcissistic tendencies. Now, this is going to be a process for me to explain because it's still pretty fresh in my mind and the events are still going on as we speak. So essentially, this narcissist person owes me a couple $1,000s, and he is 10 years older than me, makes double my salary, and basically just has a very childish, immature, hostile personality. And he's very, very self-conscious and materialistic. And I mean, he has like multiple luxury vehicles, everything. Most of his clothing is designer, and he is sitting on roughly $20,000 to $30,000 worth of film and photo and video equipment for his photography hobby, including drones and the like. Now, this is just going to be a quick example of something that you might experience with someone. So this individual just sent me $100 on Venmo, and he knows that I don't have access to my Venmo account, and he knows that the money will be locked in there and that I can't transfer it to my bank. So essentially I'll just like use it for rent or something, but I can't like use it for like right now if I needed it. So this person owes me a couple thousand, and he sends me 100, which this is the first time in 5 months that he's making a payment. So if it was a real credit card company, you can imagine the situation and his credit by now, which is the current state of his credit. Not that credit matters, I'm just saying that, you know, you can just see that he's just like not responsible and not consistent. And so he's like, at 5 a.m., he says, "What's up?" And I'm just like, well, I'm waiting on your morality. I responded a couple hours later. I'm like, I'm waiting on your morality. I'm waiting patiently. I'm praying for you, even though you call me crazy and you put lies under my name. I nonetheless pray for you and wish the best for you. And I told him a couple days previous, I was like, you can just consider it a gift because I know that you're not going to pay me back, and I know that like I'm planning on leaving the country soon, and I just don't want to have to hound you about things every month. I just shouldn't have to worry about it. You should be sending it gladly and openly and consistently. So I'm just like, whatever, like consider it a gift and just move on with your life. Like, I'm not just going to keep interacting with you. So this is what narcissists do, is they want that interaction. They feed off of that interaction. They look forward to that hostile exchange. Even if it is hostile, it's still energy for them. It's still food for them to go off of. So I asked him something that was like off topic, and he's like, well, did you get the money that I sent you? And I'm just like, yeah, I did. I just have other stuff going on, and like that money's locked in that account. So it's just like, whatever. Like, I said something along the lines of like, I give you, you give me an inch and I give you 3 feet. Like, I don't have the words for this person anymore because they're just so emotionally abusive. And he was like, well, it's a little weird that you didn't even acknowledge that I sent you the money. And I'm just like, dude, I'm not going to be acknowledging that you send the money. There's no reason for me to be so up your ass and like so thankful that you're paying me back. Like, just don't even bother paying me back if it's going to be this consistent roller coaster with you, you know? And he's like, I don't even know why I even try, and all this stuff, and just message after message after message, and just like, he does work in the ER, so it is possible that he was sleep deprived, but still, like, you don't treat people like this. So, and narcissists, by the way, go for highly authoritative jobs and authoritative positions. Like, they prefer to work in politics, they prefer to be the manager, they prefer to be in charge to some extent. So like, he has been working in the ER for a while, has his own office, that type of stuff. Like, but he was like, this conversation is over, exclamation, exclamation. And I'm just like, he's like, I can't, he's like, I don't even know why I even try anymore. And he was like, bye. And said some other things too that I can't really remember right now, but this is typical for a narcissist to go through something like this, because they are first feeding off of you, whether it's positive or negative. They'll flip it any which way they can. They'll take you on a roller coaster ride, and they'll expect you to pay for the whole thing. They'll, you know, I've done so much for this person and never asked for anything in return. I dropped off food to that person so many times when they were working in the ER overnight, and they never acknowledged it, you know. Like, I didn't mind, but hospitals are hard for me to go to, because it's just not a happy place, and it's so like industrialized, and the lights are so artificial, and I would just prefer not to go. That's why I work in the field and not in an institution, because I'd rather be outside in the community and in nature than working under those lights inside of a building with the same people every day. So basically, the basics of a narcissist include something along the lines of them being psychologically and emotionally stunted from being from their parents being narcissists, and from them being deprived and neglected. And basically, it's all about not having enough love. They just didn't get enough love as a kid. And I'm there for him still to this day, and I would still help him if he needed help, even though he treats me badly. So he calls me crazy. He tells me, oh, I guess you missed your morning meds. And I'm like, dude, you can't get my job without passing all the psych tests, all the physical tests, all the background checks. I mean, so they flip reality for you, and then you know, do what they do to you what has been done to them, which is neglect, abuse, manipulation, and just like anything that they can do to be hostile or to, you know, really get you going. But then they flip it on you and act like you're the one that's unstable, and they'll point the finger at anything and anybody but themselves. And they're more often than they're usually not able to even have a full conversation on a mature adult level, because they can't even acknowledge and take responsibility for their actions and for their thoughts and for their words. Like, this individual who works in the medical field told me to kill myself, told me to fuck off, told me to go die, stuff like this. And it's just like, you kind of start to question reality, and you start to question, like, wow, this person is like a doctor and like a professional looking person on the outside. And little do these people know that they're signing up for a roller coaster ride. And so I just wish him the best. And I just like, all you can do is just pray for these people and then let them go. You don't have to interact with them anymore. In fact, he was blocked for months from my phone. I blocked him real quick. I paid off his stupid credit card bills and shit, and I fucking blocked him. So just be the bigger person and take that hit and just move on and wish them the best. You don't have to sit around and allow them to bully you and allow them to degrade you and bring you down, especially for my ladies out there. Don't feel like you need to stick around to be validated by somebody or to be loved by somebody, you know, that you thought was a good person, but they ended up being a monster. That's kind of how these narcissists end up being. They look like they live their lives very dirty. Like his apartment was covered, and I mean covered, in mouse shit. And it was all over the kitchen counters. I was shocked. I was like, this is a joke. And I thought my life was a movie. But it wasn't, it was real life. And so me being dumb enough, I like helped clean it and just took care of it. Meanwhile, he lives in filth and is a monster, dressed in designer clothes and driving a BMW convertible. So just remind yourself that nothing is what it seems, and you need to protect yourself because you don't want to waste money and waste time and waste energy like I did. So thank you very much. Take care.